With the College Football Playoff National Championship being played today, there is a lot of hype leading up to what could be a true college football classic. With the matchup of Georgia's offense and their high-powered running game against Alabama's turnover-forcing defense, it will be a game to watch. What's up guys, it's your boy Kickbajik, aka Jay the Plug, and I am back with another video today. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, great Hanukkah, great Kwanzaa, great Boxing Day, whatever you celebrate. That's right, I got you Canada. I also hope you guys had a great new year and I wish you the best going into 2018. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the College Football Playoff National Championship, as I will be recapping both Georgia and Alabama's season and giving y'all my prediction for the champion. Before we get into the video guys today, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and hit the notifications bell so you know when these fire uploads come out. So sit back, get some popcorn, maybe a drink, because we're going to get into an interesting video today. But without further ado, let's hop right into the video. Georgia came into the season ranked number 15th in the country. They were looked at as a team to cause havoc in the SEC throughout the season. But as we all know, it's not the easiest thing being a successful team in a conference that has been in 12 of the last 15 national championships. With the return of Nick Chubb and Sony Michel, this running duo was anticipated to have the potential of success at the university since Herschel Walker. While the running duo was hyped this season, this shadowed Georgia's potential at the QB position, as their quarterbacks featured Jacob Eason, who was ranked the best quarterback in the ESPN Top 300 in the class of 2016, and their other quarterback, Jake Fromm, who was also ranked in the top 4 of the class of 2017 for best pocket passing QBs in the country. Georgia will also add a few top prospects to their defensive and offensive line, making them a team to watch out for. The Bulldogs started off the year strong, going 5-0. They would have a thrilling win in South Bend over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish 20-19, an important win needed on their resume to move back into the top 10 in the country. They would also get an important win over Mississippi State, 31-3, solidifying themselves as a team that could be successful in the SEC. These wins will move Georgia into the top 10 as a number 7 seed in the country. Georgia would then win 4 more straight games against Vanderbilt, Missouri, Florida, and South Carolina, and would be one of only 5 teams to still remain with a perfect record in the top 25. The College Football Playoff Committee also saw huge potential in this Georgia team, as the first college football playoff predictions included number 6 Ohio State, number 5 Oklahoma, number 4 Clemson, number 3 Notre Dame, number 2 Alabama, and number 1 Georgia. Yes, Georgia was ranked number 1 in the country, as a shocker to many, saying that it would have made better sense to give Alabama, Notre Dame, or even Clemson the number 1 seed. But the thing was, these critics couldn't change the committee's decision. But this glory was long-lived, as just like any other success story, there comes adversity. November 11th, 2017. Georgia is set to play at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. This will be Georgia's biggest test since their matchup against Notre Dame. Could they rise up to the challenge? They would, for about the first quarter, and then...
From right to left, Fromm out of the shotgun, Fromm stepping back, Fromm in trouble, there he goes! Marlon Davidson, back of the motion. Fromm steps back, feeling pressure, and he's sacked! Wants to throw, back to the pocket, looking deep, flings it deep down the field, passes, caught! Touchdown!
It seemed Georgia could never get their offense clicking, while Auburn was firing on all cylinders. Jake Fromm would get sacked 4 times in this game. Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, and DeAndre Swift would have a combined 24 carries and only rushed for 66 yards in the game. This was not what people were used to, as Georgia dropped on average 36 points per game, and for them not to drop at least half of that was not good at all. They would ultimately fall to Auburn, 40-17. This wouldn't help shut up the critics at all either. This just fueled the fire, as critics began to say Georgia was the biggest overrated team in the top 25. All this culminated to a number 7 seeding, and with only 2 games left in the regular season for Georgia, and both were against unranked teams, Georgia was going to have to win these 2 games by a large amount of points, make the SEC championship, and win the SEC championship if they wanted any shot at making the College Football Playoff National Championship. Georgia would accomplish their first goal beating Kentucky 42-13. They would then accomplish their second goal beating Georgia Tech 38-7. They had now made the SEC championship, and their last goal was to win the SEC championship. But there was one problem. They had to face the Auburn Tigers. Not only were they playing the team that had pummeled them earlier in the season, Auburn was coming off of a win against the number-ranked Alabama Roll Tide. Auburn was now the number 2 team in the country, and Georgia was now number 6, knocking on the door of the college football playoffs. December 2nd, 2017. Just less than 1 month ago, Auburn had embarrassed Georgia and knocked them off as the number 1 team in the country, and Georgia was destined for revenge. This drive to win the SEC championship and go to the CFP championship ultimately helped Georgia prevail as they beat the Tigers 28-17 and gave the Bulldogs their 13th SEC championship. This win would help Georgia accomplish their last goal of making the college football playoffs. They were given a number 3 seed and were set to play in the Rose Bowl. The team they had to face? Heisman quarterback winner Baker Mayfield and the Oklahoma Sooners. The thing about this game is both teams had 2 of the most high-powered offenses in college football, and the game wouldn't live down any of its hype. In the double overtime thriller, both teams would combine for 102 points, 1,058 yards, and would compete in the first ever Rose Bowl overtime game in the history of the bowl. Ultimately, this game was one where both teams played amazing, and that one was just going to win and the other was going to lose, and it wouldn't be really the fault of one team for playing bad. Georgia would win 54-48 off an overtime Rose Bowl victory, and that would give them a ticket to the College Football Playoff National Championship. Alabama. Alabama is a team to rarely make so-called dumb mistakes in the regular season, and even in the postseason for that matter. Many didn't expect Alabama to disappoint in the upcoming season, as they were preseason ranked number 1 in the country by the AP Top 25. Many weren't shocked, as they expected Alabama to be a team to make and possibly win the college football playoffs. They had one of the best quarterbacks in the country, Jalen Hurts, and a very good running back of Bo Scarborough that could also help Alabama's running game majorly. Alabama would start their season off 8-0, scoring on average 45 points per game. They would then beat the 16th ranked LSU Tigers 24-10 and sneak a 31-21 win on the road against Mississippi State on the road. The Tide's next biggest challenge would be a classic rivalry that never disappoints. November 25th, 2017. Black Friday is in its aftermath, and Alabama has a game that will determine if they will have a shot at the SEC championship or even the College Football Playoff National Championship. They would face off against Auburn in Jordan-Hare Stadium. This game wasn't just a game for bragging rights either. There was a lot at stake here. The game started off close, as the Tigers only led 7-10 after the first half. But as we all know, Auburn is one of the hardest places to play in college football. And in the end, Auburn just proved too much for the Tide, as they'd win 26-14, giving Alabama its first loss of the season. This loss will move Alabama down to the 5th seed in the country. To make matters even worse, Alabama and Auburn were in the same division, so because Auburn beat Alabama, Alabama wouldn't even get the chance to play in the SEC championship and have a chance to prove themselves to the College Football Playoff Committee. They were just going to have to hope that the playoff committee would really like their resume and give them a chance, and they did. But this was a very controversial move. Many people didn't like the idea of having Georgia and Alabama, 2 SEC teams in the college football playoffs. They felt it was overpowering the conference and that Ohio State should have been in instead. Alabama as a 4th seed had to prove that they were better and hush all the critics saying they should have not been in the playoffs. January 1st, 2018, the game to decide who would go to the national championship and who would go home. Playing in the Sugar Bowl against a high-powered offensive throwing game of Clemson, everyone knew it would be a very entertaining game, which it was at first, and then...
Right now, 2nd and 2. Bryant, pressure, and it is a turnover. Big boy Deron Payne with the ball. How about a goal line set? And they'll throw to a pass to him. Oh my! Storybook it for the big man. In practice, would they call it in the game? Beautiful call and timing. He got a little pick play. They ran a pick play. Boy, we heard so much about that with the way the game ended last year when they met up. Oh, and another one. It's Mac Williams. Williams, pick 6, Tide rolling. Mac Wilson takes it home.
Alabama's defense was just too good, as they would have 2 important interceptions, and that combined with their offense was just too much for Clemson. The highlight of the game, though, was when Deron Payne, a defensive lineman for Alabama, got an interception and tried to run the ball back almost to the touchdown. and then they put him at fullback and he scored a touchdown. This was also a very good game, and it would give Alabama another shot at winning the College Football Playoff National Championship. In conclusion to this video, I think Alabama will come out with the win. Even though Georgia has one of, if not the best running games in the country, as we all know, defense wins games. And if I was given the option of Alabama's defense or Georgia's offense, I'd go with the Tide's defense. At the same time though, I kind of want Georgia to win because after a while, it just gets tired of seeing Alabama win the championship and winning games. Whoever you're going for, I hope you guys get the opportunity to watch this game as it will be an amazing one. Sit back, relax, and watch some good football with the fam. But thank y'all for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and turn on post notifications. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.